on U.S. money for the first time.
This is pretty historic to be with the two of you. Your names both on these dollar bills and $5 bills.
Well, we've never had two women before on the currency, and I think we're both first in our own right.
Being the first Secretary of Treasury is an amazing accomplishment, and I am so proud to be working with her, and I'm exceedingly proud to have my name on the money with her.
This is our engraving department at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
Another woman, Charlene Williams, oversees the production of America's paper money.
This is a tool that is used for hand engraving
at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
We love what we do here, making money.
She showed us how the U.S. dollar is created, a process that begins with an order from the Federal Reserve.
If you are looking at producing a 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, the first stage of the operation is called offset printing. It's where you simultaneously print the back and the face of the sheet at the same time, and then it dries for 72 hours. Then it goes to your plate printing operation, which we refer to as intaglio printing. That's where you have fine line engraving. Intaglio printing really is a staple of United States paper currency. It literally has been in our business for 160 years. It dries for another 72 hours, and then it goes to your face printing, and it dries for another 72 hours. The sheets are then inspected, and then they go to what is called large examining printing equipment. That's the final processing stage of where your Federal Reserve seal, serial numbers, and Treasury seal are incorporated onto the final note. At the very end, we end up putting a total of 16,000 notes into a cash pack, which weighs about 37 pounds. A total skid, it has 40 cash packs on it, and that's what is a finished product that we prepare to be shipped out. But if you want to know how much money we truly have here, it's zero. It's not $1 till it becomes property of the Federal Reserve Board.
Everything is going up, but they'll lie to you because they're the serpent. They're going to say it's only at 3%. A couple days back, they were saying that actually inflation is going down. So everything is a lie, and they're doing that for a reason, so the American people will not panic. All right. So when they tell you not to panic, it's time to panic. Okay. So foreclosure crisis is looming. You got a lot of people now in homes that can no longer afford. They can no longer afford the mortgage, and mortgage means the morgue. Okay, with runaway inflation, and their wages aren't keeping up with inflation, and that's what's happening. You're getting paid right here, but everything is going through the roof. Okay, but your pay, your weekly pay is down here. Everything's going up. So inflation and wages aren't keeping up with inflation. Everything is spiking. Property taxes, flood insurance, fire insurance, health insurance, car insurance, your electric bill, gas and water is all going through the roof. Car loans and gasoline. Then comes loan defaults. That will spike foreclosures. Okay? That's what's happening. And I repeat this, and I make a lot of videos on the economic collapse, Civil War, race wars, World War III, because that's the time that we're living in. We're at the end of tribulation. Now those fake Christians and those the Roman Catholic Church, the Protestants, the ones that you see on TV, the Pope, Joel Osteen, those are the false prophets. They lie to you. They're the children of the serpent. On here it's going to be raw and uncut. We're living in the times of the end of the age. and everything is bad news. The only good news is the Son of God is coming back, who you call Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. He is the deliverer of his people, and he's coming back for God's elect. So there is hope. Because the Most High, Yahweh, is sending the Son back to this earth. And he's going to have to reset everything back into a proper order. Okay? So the Federal Reserve Bank has lost control. They lost control because they keep on printing money, that worthless dollar. The more you print, everything goes up. So they lost control. This means that the value of money decreases. That's why I say buy gold and silver. When the economic collapses, when this country collapses, the whole world's fiat system's going down into the gutter. There's going to be, like I said, could be 12, 18, 36 months of chaos in the world before they bring out the New World Order. They need to bring out this chaos. Okay? They're like I said, they're bringing the hammer down. Rich and poor will be the same. So this means that the value of money decreases. The more you print, everything decreases. That's why gold holds value, silver holds value. That's God's money. You'll be able to trade animals, trucks, cars, property with that. But in the end, in the fourth quarter of World War III, it's not going to matter. Because the world's going to be on fire. But there's going to be a time to, whoever is prepared will survive. Only the strong will survive. Just like Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. King David, King Solomon. Strong men. Men who were prepared. They took the good and the bad. The bad and the good. Alright? That's perfect balance. So that means that the value of money decreases and people need more money to buy the same goods and services. I write this down to make a point. That's why I always have I write everything down. Used to buy before. If the government keeps printing money, inflation can spiral out of control. And that's what's happening. That's why if you go to the grocery store, it's shock and awe when you look at these prices. I see them all day long when I'm on social media, looking up on YouTube. I see people, I look up, I do my research about what's going on in this world. And people they're in shock and they can't survive. They can't feed themselves, they can't feed their families, they can't pay the rent, they can't pay the mortgage, they can't fill up their gas in their vehicles. I mean, health insurance, everybody is being strangled. People are drowning in debt. All right? So inflation can spiral out of control, leading to hyperinflation. 2024, 2025, 2026. This is the decade of hyperinflation. That's the time that we're living in. And they're not going to, the Federal Reserve, like I said, they lost control. They're just printing money. It's nothing but garbage. It's nothing but paper trash. All right? So that's why we're going into hyperinflation, and there's nothing you can do about it. All these people that are in America, it's turning into a third world country. So going into the news about war, Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, America's 3 wars. All right? Everything comes in 3. and they're printing money, sending billions every week to Ukraine, to Israel, and to Taiwan. We have ships out there. We're about to go to war on 3 fronts. Okay? So with this crisis in Ukraine and Israel, can America still defend Taiwan? Like I said, the whole world is upside down, and our military is running thin, all right? And then you have perhaps the most difficult of all, the immigration issue Congress must face, namely the security of the southern U.S. border. We're about to go into a civil war. You have thousands of truckers going to the border. You have people that are just fed up. They're going in truckloads, busloads to the border, all right, to protest, to fight against the invasion that's happening here. And this is all by design by the Rothschilds. We're going to get into it, but we're going into a civil war, and there's going to be race wars here in America. I mean, it's all out war on the 4 corners of this earth, and right here, America is divided. This is a divided country, and they're bringing the Biden, Republicans, Democrats, they're all the same. The Rothschilds are running the show, all right? They're bringing chaos.
Shows the lawlessness of Democrat cities colliding with Joe Biden's open borders insanity. 2 NYPD police officers getting outnumbered and savagely beaten by a large group of illegal immigrants near Times Square. Those cops were just trying to break up a disorderly crowd outside a shelter, trying to arrest one of the illegals, and that's when the mob attacked. One of the thugs kicking an officer in the face while he's on the ground. He suffered a cut to his face, and the other officer was injured. 5 of those violent suspects were arrested by police later that same night, charged with assaulting a police officer, but 4 of them already back on the street, released without bail. And get this, they were only in custody for 3 hours. And we're getting new video of that 5th migrant in court today. One NYPD chief says all of those cop-beating migrants should be locked up.
Reprehensible. Cowards. You have 8 people attacking a lieutenant and a cop. The 4 that were arrested should be sitting in Rikers right now, on bail. Should be indicted this week and taken off our streets. You want to know why our cops are getting assaulted? There's no consequences, and we must change this.
Even New York Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul's outraged, and she's floating the D word.
Why is it okay that they are left out on bail?
I'm not satisfied with that at all. These are law enforcement officers who should never, under any circumstances, be subjected to physical assault.
Those individuals be deported?
I think that's absolutely something that should be looked at. I mean, if someone commits a crime against a police officer in the state of New York, and they're not, they've not processed, they're not here legally, definitely worth checking into.